Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the panelists for being here today to testify and for your service to our country. Today, as you are well aware, America's Navy faces major issues like longer deployment schedules while managing a shrinking fleet, the volatility of the ship repair industry, and the ongoing strike fighter inventory management challenges. So as our Navy and our sailors are facing great fiscal constraints, I'm concerned with the new unisex uniform initiative, which will not only burden the Navy with an estimated $7 million bill, but on top of that, only our female sailors will be encumbered with out-of-pocket expenses collectively totaling $4 million, a hefty price tag of $400 per individual female sailor. Wouldn't you agree that this money would be better spent on necessities like household costs, groceries, and utilities? And do you think it's fair that only our female sailors are encumbered with this out-of-pocket $400 cost?
Ma'am, I have been in the Navy a long time and have gone through many uniform changes over my lifetime. And in this case, the uniforms will be phased in just like they're phased in, so that we look at not trying to make the sailors all at once pay for the cost, but then that allows them, as their older uniforms get through wear and tear, they're going to have to buy another uniform anyway, and then we move them into the newer uniform. The uniform initiative to get us to have a common appearance, I need to let you know that when I was a midshipman at Annapolis and I was in my whites that looked very different from the men, I didn't understand why. I also came into a Navy that initially didn't have trousers for women. And it's just a pure functional aspect of actually going to sea and being able to do the job, that there's certain uniforms and the way they look have got to support all of us, male and female, so that we're safe at work.
Admiral Howard, I understand and I am very thankful for your service and leadership to our country, but I'm concerned that there was a 71% dissatisfaction rate among the Navy's own test group with these proposed changes. Does that concern you, that 71% of our sailors do not support this initiative?
Ma'am, I will have to go back and look at that. I do know that the one uniform, the pilot on the chokers was very well received, but I will go back and look into the dissatisfaction rate. Absolutely.
I'd like to follow up with you on that. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. And then I want you to explain to us today, and you touched on it, but what is the operational necessity that these changes reflect?
Ma'am, the issue of good order and discipline, when you think about, and I wouldn't phrase it in operational, I would phrase it in our service and who we are as culturally and who we are as an ethos. The sense of uniformity and being a part of a team is central to all of our military. And then for me, it's the functionality of the uniform and making sure that it's appropriate for both our men and women, that they can do their jobs specifically.
So is there an operational necessity?
Ma'am, for all of us, for our uniforms, they identify who we are, and they are.
But specifically the changes, no, not just the uniforms, but the proposed changes. Is there an operational necessity that's driving these proposed changes?
Ma'am, when we talk about uniforms and operational necessity, I'm not sure that's the way to frame the question.
Okay, I appreciate that. I look forward to getting your response on
the dissatisfaction
on the
rate.
71% dissatisfaction rate among our Navy sailors.
Yes, ma'am.
And I yield back.